Hi everyone, Carlos Barros, your National Executive Committee member here. You'll soon be receiving your ballot papers on the pay dispute on London Underground. Make no mistake, there is no shortage of cash. Managers' bonuses and the fact that they tell us when we go on strike that we generate £17,500 each for the economy in London will tell you there is money about. On behalf of yourselves, the NEC rejected 5%, told the company it wasn't good enough because we believe you're worth far more. If you agree with us, vote yes for strike action and action short, because let's face it, you're worth it.
So London Underground's pay offer is for 5%, but it's not a straight 5%. If you're on banded pay, you won't necessarily get the whole of your 5% if you're near the top of the band. And the bottom of the bands doesn't get inflated either, which means people taking those jobs later get a lower salary. Also, London Underground's ignored our demand for a higher increase for people on the lowest pay. We've asked for a flat rate element because we need people on the lower paid grades to start catching up, given the cost of living crisis that they're facing in Britain at the present time. But the overall increase of 5% is also inadequate. The RPI rate in April, when this pay rise was due, was over 11%. That means that we're 6% down on the cost of living. That comes on top of a rise last year that was also below the real rise in the cost of living over the year. RMT does not accept that tube workers should be able to buy less with their pay and have a lower standard of living because of a financial crisis that's got absolutely nothing to do with us. So that's why we've come here to the Bank of England and the City of London. We're hoping that the genius of some of these people around here who always seem to get good pay rises, who never seem to take any of the economic pain, will rub off on us, on the RMT, and maybe we can get the same sort of deals that they do. You might want to know that the average CEO of a FTSE 100 company got paid 4 million quid in 2022, and that was an increase of 16% on the year before. So it's a bit curious that these people lecture us about how a pay rise for tube workers is going to cause inflation while they carry on pocketing the millions. So the truth is, while these millionaires and billionaires lecture workers about causing inflation, real wages in Britain have actually fallen about 3% over the last 15 years. It's impossible to argue that that's caused inflation. In fact, the Resolution Foundation was quoted in The Guardian recently saying that a typical British worker is now earning around £11,000 a year less than they would have been if the economy had just kept going after 2008, instead of crashing and having the policies that we've had since that have repressed wages and benefited the rich and powerful instead. The only new money that's around has been created by the Bank of England here, that created £80 billion in quantitative easing and stuffed it into the pockets of the rich and powerful. What we say is that some of that money should be used to pay for public services. Some of that money that's generated here in London should be used to generate the money that's needed to run a public transport system that's cheap, that's efficient, and also is able to provide good wages and conditions for the people that work on it. That's what we're fighting for. And if you agree with that, then you need to get your ballot paper back. You need to tick yes for strike action, yes for action short of strike action, and get your ballot paper in the post. Solidarity.